Fantastic. So, good morning indeed, wherever you may be. This is me, Dan. I'm the research lead here at Dub. Of course, Dub is known for its online qualitative solutions and insight communities. Today I'm going to be talking about the concept of Agile from a software development perspective, looking at implications for the future of the market research industry. So our company in Dub, in essence, helps to connect brands with customers to carry out research and solve business challenges using online qual. We're situated in Shoreditch, London, aka Silicon Roundabout, the third largest tech hub after Silicon Valley in New York. And this is where we've been since 2007, since we started. It's a hub of enterprise and tech startups that the UK government has lauded as being vital to UK economic growth. Indeed, since 2008, the number of businesses registered in the EC1V district has increased tenfold. It's a place where disruption and failure is not something to be feared, but actively embraced when it comes to innovation and NPD. It's a place where traditional industry classifications are becoming increasingly less relevant as businesses combine, diversify their products and services into entirely new offerings. Shoreditch is, of course, also famous for being the UK capital of bearded hipsterdom, where access to cheap office space, affordable rent, and the large, diverse migrant worker base of creative talent has undoubtedly contributed to its growth and seen the area become a bit of a fashionable destination spot. We think it's fair to say there's been a bit of a quiet revolution taking place in the world of work. Shoreditch is a place where developers are king, with the freedom to choose how, when, and where they work. This is something that's reflected in the explosion of coffee shops and third space working environments, which are blurring the traditional boundaries of work, rest, and play. And perhaps at the heart of all of this is the concept of Agile and how this is applying to the world of work. But first, let's bring this all back into context, specifically the world of market research and the concept of Agile. Ray has usefully explored perceptions towards Agile via the New MR network on LinkedIn, and it's of course interesting to see the varying perspectives from fellow researchers. It's great to hear and reflect upon these perspectives, but of course the market research industry can be criticised for being too inwardly focused and perhaps slow-moving when it comes to evolving working practices. It's arguably less dynamic compared to the world of advertising, design, or indeed software development, where Agile is widely understood and largely considered to be the norm. So we might look to these other industries as a form of hinterland to illuminate where the future might lie and consider potential implications for the market research industry. Because of our location and as a technology provider working in the research industry, we believe that Dub is uniquely placed to discuss some of the Agile practices that we apply to our software development. Our team is currently developing a brand new mobile journaling and ethnography tool, so I'll be explaining how the various concepts and principles apply, giving examples throughout the rest of this presentation. So that's enough of the intro. Let's like to take you through some of the major Agile concepts, principles, and working practices that we apply here at Dub. The first point that we'd like to make is that Agile is largely considered to be a philosophy or a mindset in the software development world, rather than a principle or management practice. Everybody is responsible for owning Agile, from the company CEO to the freshly recruited grad. This involves increased levels of trust and empowerment to get the job done. Another key aspect is the willingness to give and receive feedback, which is actively sought throughout the development phases and journeys. The second point that we'd like to make is that Agile does not always lead to success. Indeed, when it comes to innovation, fast failure and freedom to fail is actively embraced. This is vital as in the fast-moving world of tech development, user needs and competing technological solutions can adapt and evolve during development phases themselves. Despite this message, it is, however, important to stress that failure is not the goal. It's all about learning. Indeed, the emphasis to learn through fast and cheap failure is much more accurate, and this is much easier to do in OK-to-fail environments. To reduce lead times, one of the key development concepts that we employ is that of the minimum viable product. Here the objective is to create a product with the highest return on investment versus risk. MVP is a technique in which a new product or a website is developed with minimal or sufficient features to satisfy early adopters. It's all about delivering value to the customer, solving their problems and learning quickly. The final complete set of features is only designed and developed after feedback from initial users who are consulted throughout the development phases. Once again, this is essential as user needs can evolve during the development process. Perhaps the most significant shift in the world of software development is the progression away from the waterfall approach towards Agile and Lean. When developing using the old waterfall approach, nothing was finished or available until the very end of the development phases, and this was seen to be highly risky because customer and market feedback did not occur until the very end. Using Agile, you do just enough to get to the next step of the development, and feature development occurs in short phases, which are also known as sprints. The key advantage here is that it's an iterative approach to development, enables development teams the ability to pivot and make stop-go decisions and evolve the entire process and concentrate and reconcentrate efforts if and when required. This helps to avoid risking efforts and resources in developing the wrong solutions. Kanban is another important concept. Indeed, working tool helps to support Agile by helping teams visualize the workflows to coordinate internal efforts. To place this into context, we've used our mobile journaling tool as an example here. We can see various features of the tool outlined as stories under the backlog column. For instance, the geolocation feature, the ability to capture emotions through sentiment icons, and open-ended text box entries. The word Kanban translates as signboard, billboard in Japanese. Initially, this was created as an inventory control system for supply chain management. It has, however, important application in Agile. And as you can see, the grid consists of different columns reflecting the different phases of the development process. You can see stories outlining the individual features here. Again, this approach offers increased visibility and enhanced response to change, so everybody can see what each other is working on, and you can pivot and reflect those efforts accordingly by moving the post-it notes around. So we're seeing some of the practices and techniques associated with Agile. Let's next focus on the Agile Manifesto and the major implications for the market research industry. In 2001, a group of 17 developers met in Utah to discuss lightweight development methods. The principal aim here was to reduce lead times for software development. They published the Manifesto for Agile Software Development, and I quote, "to uncover better ways of developing software by doing it and helping others." Although our developers here at Dub recognize that there is value in the items on the right, Agile developers such as the ones here value the items on the left more. The first principle places emphasis on individuals and interactions over processes and tools. So this is all about trust and empowerment bestowed upon employees, placing greater value on face-to-face interaction and self-organizing teams. For it to apply this thinking to the world of market research, and I believe this means a radical rethink when it comes to written and psychological working contracts. This could mean more flexible home working arrangements, and it would certainly make the industry more of an attractive place to work. There is arguably no need to maintain a 9:30 to 7 p.m. office culture if you are serving global working clients. There's also potential to reduce the level of email waste. This has long been criticized but still not acted upon, suffocating workflows. There are many situations where face-to-face collaboration with more diverse groups of team workers could benefit ways of working, for instance when it comes to proposal writing and developing market research reports. Thirdly, I'd like to reflect upon opportunity for more flexible resourcing to promote skills awareness amongst large teams. Indeed, if you're in a large company, it's often a case of it's increasing that opportunity to have more diverse groups of workers working in your projects to add value as and when required. Perhaps instead of resourcing around qualitative or quantitative expertise or specific sectors of focus. The second point of the Agile Manifesto places emphasis on working software as a measure of progress. We saw early on how the concept of MVP can reduce lead times when it comes to software development, but how about if we were to apply the same principles to market research? One direct implication would be to replace the term software with insight, actionable insight, to justify research on the basis of deliberate and measurable outcomes. We have seen market research clients' appetite step away from hefty marketing reports, from 50 to 100 slides, towards more bite-sized reporting chunks, and using Agile we might encourage clients to consider the minimum viable insight or minimum range of research outcomes required to progress decision making. Lastly, Agile on the world of market research could involve avoiding this tool-first mindset that that predominates, that plagues the industry when it comes to research design. Indeed, I think it's really important to promote method agnosticism, look at opportunities to blend qualitative and quantitative research and have these methods of research feature as complementary. However, this may require training to make employees a bit more T-shaped, for instance, more generalist in their knowledge, but perhaps more specific in terms of expertise to combine efforts accordingly using agile principles. Thirdly, the manifesto emphasizes customer collaboration. Through continuous delivery, daily cooperation between business people and developers, and a sustainable pace of development. This has major implications for the client-agency partnership. It could involve a movement towards servicing a single client or just a handful of clients, improving the focus to embed relationships and build greater value. We saw how use of Kanban can promote visibility of context and work in progress for developers, but imagine if this was applied to the research industry, to the client-agency partnership, and the benefits this could bring to research discovery and exploration if we had visibility on the insights that were gathered, focusing on a given research scenario. Finally, we might look at ways to promote customer closeness and build our client's sense of empathy and instinct. In this sense, I mean customer instinct. And this is a world away from the traditional view of the respondent as a distant entity, sampled, prodded, poked, and viewed from behind the one-way mirror. Finally, on to the last principle, responding to change. Agile has opportunity to move towards a more iterative approach to research design and discovery, increasing the number of points in the process where feedback is revealed to the client. Of course, this is going to be lengthier when we consider the reporting phases and cycles following the analysis, but arguably this would be less prone to failure if we were to reality check the feedback and insights gathered and with the discussion with the client and then refine our approach accordingly. Application of tech solutions to automate mundane jobs to reduce waste from project cycles is another key opportunity. And then finally, the concept of introducing weekly stand-ups and stand-down meetings to promote Kaizen continuous improvement. Many teams already coordinate to discuss the week ahead, but how many of those teams actually discuss the challenges and roadblocks that stop them progressing to achieve their aims at the end of that week? So that takes us to the end of our session. I hope you found this interesting. If you have any questions, do feel free to share them, and I will now hand back to Ray.